What's going on, my Brumalates? How are we doing? Hope you're doing well. I realize that there's like a weird shine in my forehead, so please ignore the fact that I don't have a makeup crew. It's just me, myself, and I. Doing a different camera angle on this, and zooming out, and then you see like the computer screen a little bit, but we'll get the shot. Listen, we're going to figure this out. It's going to be phenomenal one day, but not today. This is XFeed. If this is your first time tuning in, stay a minute, see if you enjoy it, or if not, listen, hey, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But we go over NFTs, Web3, crypto news that we see on the headlines, different articles. Of course, your takes on the timeline as well. Bullish, bearish. We're going to go through everything, and specifically, we're going to do a deep dive into Rec League. If you've been following me on X, I made a post this morning where I quote tweeted myself because I was watching a League of Legends stream and there was like this ad for this game that was associated with Yuga Labs, and this is like a couple months ago, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is huge. This is maybe the breakthrough adoption that we keep talking about, and it's been literally the furthest thing from the truth. So we'll go back, recount that, look over what's happening on the markets in general and all that good stuff. So again, appreciate you guys being here, and if you have any comments throughout, feel free to leave them, and we'll chat it up as we're going through, of course. Magic Eden Foundation tweeting out this morning, tokenomics for the Magic Eden token will be published on 11/18 cheers. So it is the 11th month as we're in November, but the 18th. Right now it's the 7th, so not great at math, but listen, that's like what, 7-8 days away. Yo, Mr. Harry Swan, what's going on, man? Okay, so Harry, we got to have a little bit of a conversation here, not to completely derail the crypto conversation, but I've noticed on like half of my social feeds, whether it be TikTok, YouTube Shorts, I think I've watched a little bit too much of people that are like buying and selling like the graded cards. You know what I'm saying? And seeing those people do a deal where they walk up to a table and then like crunch up the numbers of like, oh yeah, we're doing a card for 1,000. We're doing this one for 2,000. Well, this card's 50. We're going to try to make a yo, it's unbelievable. Where the hell is the offer system in person at these card events? Crazy stuff. But yeah, Magic Eden airdrop finally. Well, at least the tokenomics for it are going to happen. I think that, I mean, is there a problem if it's like a governance token, right? Because we went through a phase where everybody was just like, oh, if there's a token of any sort of utility, we're fine with that. But now it feels after Blur, the conversation around governance tokens have kind of taken a nosedive within the public eye per se. And I don't know how the market's going to react to that being the case, if it is just a governance token, which it probably is, and maybe we get more clarity. But I mean, to that point, to give Blast and Blur credit, Pac-Man kind of has alluded to, you know, people that are holding the token are going to be able to make votes on like royalties, other components of whatnot. So I mean, the governance could be good, but I'm yapping at this point. The card conventions, LOL, yeah, it'll be worthless. W. True. Okay, virtual hangouts hosted by NBA Top Shot. Listen, back in the day, a huge Chicago Bulls fan and watched the Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, Carlos Boozer's day. Kirk Heinrich, if that's the right way of saying his name. I'm trying to think back to then, but it's actually kind of cool that they're having these guest speakers come and hang out. I don't really do Top Shot a whole lot anymore, but it is just kind of cool to see, so I wanted to highlight that super quick. Wrecked Brands announcing that they have a new 1.5 million seed round funded completely by our community and angels. Luca Zegabon, seed phrase, G Money, Jack Butcher, the artist in there, and a couple of other individuals. So that's kind of cool. Wrecked is one of the brands within Web3. Started out as an art collection and, of course, have expanded. They recently sold a bunch of beverages and that sold out. And yeah, I guess they're raising money and doing more. So a W for the Web3 world, of course. This is kind of interesting where we saw Andy Slaps making a announcement that on November 8th, which is tomorrow, that for 24 hours, he is going to stream Dookie Dash. Why? I have no idea. Absolutely respect the grind. I don't know if that's a game that I could spend that many hours doing, but either way, super cool that we're having more and more content creators covering stuff within the Web3 world. Okay, so as we mentioned right at the top of the screen, stream, not screen. We could scream, though. I scream, you scream for ice cream, along those lines. Anyway, so Rec League, if you don't know what this is, it was touted as honestly one of the biggest things that was going around. They were saying, you know, we're partnered with Yuga Labs. We are minting these NFTs, and they're going to be a part of something massive. Now, to give you more of a perspective and something that I realized, and please call me out if I ever do this. Yesterday, I was reading off some different posts about certain collections and things, and I'm thinking I know what that is, but I don't know if everybody watching is. So if I ever do that, feel free to ask me to like recount, bring up images, videos, whatever about it. So this is the gameplay of Rec League. I'll turn off the volume so we don't break your ears, but basically it was kind of like a fighter game where you had different abilities. You could have these highly customizable mechs, and there was all this talk about it being like the next big game. This is looking AAA. It's associated with Yuga. This is the real deal. And I hadn't noticed it on my timeline, like legitimately whatsoever. And there was a bot for anybody that posts about crypto. You probably know what I'm talking about. And I mean, even if you don't, but there's like random accounts that'll just like tweets from months ago. And this is why this popped up on my screen, because back on July 4th, I made a comment about how I'm watching this big World Cup event for League of Legends. And at the side of my screen, there's this thing that pops up that was about Animoca brands, and this is at the time that Animoca is all a part of the news, and I'm like, oh my god, they're highlighting Rec League on this. And again, this isn't like the streamer doing it, this is kind of like a widget or attached for a stream. It was a pop-out, but I made a comment about it, being like, that's actually really freaking cool. And so when that notification popped up today of the like, I was like, I haven't heard about this like whatsoever. So when you go to the Rec League website, just to, if we can, that is, hold on, why is the enter not working? Why are we not entering cookie settings? Can we just reject all? True. So season 1 Yuga Labs collaboration. July was the last update for it. I have the sound on. I guess we'll go back to that if we need to. This is me doing a bunch of research, and I forgot to delete that tab. But these were some of the posts from it back in the day. Rec League aims to revolutionize. Remember I complained about the buzzwords we use? Web3 through collaboration with blockchain's most beloved brands, starting with Codas by Yuga Labs. The Genesis Mint offers Coda-themed mech parts to create unique builds, and all Coda holders will be able to claim a free Founder's mech. Okay, that's kind of cool, and trying to use the Yuga IP for it. So some more info regarding it. These are what the prices were, where for the Majestic box, there's 25,000 of them at 158. There's Booster box, 5,000 at 500. And when you go and look at like ApeCoin, this was back in like August of 2023. And so when I was looking at this a little bit earlier, it feels like the price was around like $2 to $4 around this time. And so at $2 to $4 for, 158, that's like pretty damn expensive, right? And so I'm like, all right, let me go look at the OpenSea aspect of it. Last sales 22 days ago. You can't see it, sorry, but right next to these things, 22 days, 26 days. It did get like a little bit of volume earlier on, but the boxes were kind of selling for about the same price in ETH, but ETH has kind of come down. Well, actually, ETH is now going up, but it's the price in ETH terms, just generally, it seems like the price is kind of completely fallen off here. And I'm just like, what's going on? What's going on? So here's what they had to say about the mint before you mint it. And, one of the reasons, because I'll bring up a take here in a second, but I complain about certain things, right? And I get that. And I want to also, hold on a minute, I want to also make it abundantly clear. Whenever I talk about something, know that there's a chance that I have a bias for whatever reason. I just have a perspective, and this is my take, and that's it. This is just like me yapping away, and you can be like, okay, cool, that's interesting, but never take any action or strictly only think a certain way because I bring it up. I'm just, yapping about it. So for Rec League, if we're scrolling on through the different box parts, booster box includes a random assortment of 5 NFT mech parts that can be used to customize your mech. The rarity of the boxes will be a blind state until August 24th. When did the boxes open? All the boxes become eligible for opening on September 14th. This is way back in the day. What's the utility of Rec League NFTs? One of the key differentiators of Rec League is that you get to custom create your own NFTs. In Rec League, you can use your part NFTs to mint mech NFTs. What parts you use to assemble your mech will determine how the mech plays in battle, which is actually really cool because it's going to have different abilities, different actions, depending on how you kind of put this together. Creating mechs that play well is key to earning rewards in Rec League. Is there a benefit to owning more than one mech? Yes, more mechs owned means better benefits in future mints. It also means that you'll have access to higher tier tournaments. You'll also have more parts to use and try to finish your find your perfect playstyle. Now, the question here is like, okay, so when they're talking about future mints, it's like kind of a kick W, because I mean, I don't know. Like, do they keep building this if they don't have a whole lot of players? I remember a lot of streamers within Web3, including Orangey, were talking about it at the time, but I've not seen anything about it whatsoever. So let me know if you guys have, if you have any extra thoughts about Rec League, but just wanted to recount that. Now, for Yuga and all the things that were attached to it, we have gone through kind of this wave of them unloading certain things, wanting to refocus their attention, and Legends of the Mara has been a pain point of what the absolute halibut with sided tartar sauce is going on. So they just announced that there is this points portal, which, as we've highlighted across the entire space, almost everything within Web3 revolves around some point system right now and the speculation around it. So introducing the Legends of the Mara points portal, wishes, Coda Lamp, keys, and Ascension. One of 3 updates coming for Legends of the Mara points. Here is what you can expect in V1. Now, as I'm saying this and recounting what I said earlier, Legends of the Mara, I want to bring up like some kind of YouTube video just so you guys see like kind of what the game actually looks like. Because is this a gameplay? Hold on, there's an explainer from Yuga Labs. I'm not going to play like the audio from it exactly, but if we can kind of skip through. So you had your land, right? And you brought over codas. So there were ones that could farm. There was ones that would do battle. And those what the eggs originally looked like. And depending on like the land, you would have more stats to it. And as an example, this is like how it would work, where you have like a team of codas per se, and it just ticks down, does this damage, and if you killed this boss over X amount of days, and depending on how fast you did it, you would get a reward chest. The faster you did it, the bigger the rewards, etc., etc., and then it kind of felt like there was nothing going on with it. And so now we have this new point system that they're breaking down. These points are essential for unlocking new abilities and advancing in the game, providing a clear path to success in future seasons of Legend of the Mara Rebirth and future Legends of the Mara titles. So the codas, which we've highlighted a fair bit, they have base points, but no flat points or point modifiers. But for Coda Mara and Mara, which are more specifically from the creation of this game and those rewards, everything else, yada, 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 they will have those extra components. Extra points and modifiers, NFTs in the Coda Mara, Coda, and Mara collections are assigned inherent base points determined by their existing metadata. Owners can earn extra points, which can be assigned to these NFTs as well. I'm not going to keep going on for this because I don't know really that many people that are even playing this game right now, let alone people to play the game and watch the stream. But just to note that there is another point system coming, and Legends of the Mara is still happening and under development. So here's a tweet from the devil, Keck W. This chain is the most underrated. What chain are they talking about? Content creators have made thousands of United States of America dollars just because they got involved in the Say ecosystem and started posting and creating over here. I don't have to prove it to you. Creators can tell you that easily. Our Say blog post can also tell you that easily. The Say Creator Fund is a $10 million USD fund designed to empower creators and builders. So this is just like a post highlighting that Say does have a massive creator program. I've talked about it a little bit, not necessarily this creator program, but just saying if you're somebody who wants to build, somebody that wants to do content, there's all these ecosystems with insane war chests across the board. If you do content, do it out there, do it for fun, do it for passion, and you never know what might happen. And it also puts you in a prime spot where if you do try to make any kind of pitch to these funds, it'll look good. Because if you remember ApeCoin, there is a lot of people that were just doing Twitter spaces, and now they're getting paid from ApeCoin to continue doing that, writing articles, whatever it may be. So if you're, I don't know if we'll use the term entrepreneur in the right way, but if you're out there feeling motivated, you never know the opportunities that are going to lie ahead within Web3. You've really got to applaud Epic Games for keeping Fortnite so relevant for over 7 years running. Totally agree. It's, it's in Web3 we're always like, okay, things are relevant for like a day and then nothing at all. And Fortnite had its time of being the spotlight, and to be fair, it's continued being one of the top games, and they've really iterated quite well. Matty B with this post talking about OpenSea. So if you know, wow. At the beginning of the stream, we talked about how Magic Eden with their Magic Eden token, they're going to announce the tokenomics at the 18th of this month. And it's funny because that's, we're getting pretty close to OpenSea also announcing whatever the hell this new platform is. But in the span of 2 days, nearly 500,000 wallets have joined, 494,213. And this was it's like 8 p.m. last night. So I don't know if we'll be able to figure out how that is, because I don't know if that's like posted anywhere, but the countdown clock. When do they hit 1 million wallets? Does OpenSea even hit that? But still mighty numbers. And that shows a lot of people are still paying attention to Web3. True. Smoke That Dank. .eth, crazy name, with a really good take, and why I kind of had the, breakdown of I talk about stuff, but I always want you to have your own opinion. Because this one I read and I was like, all right, chill. Listen, this is potentially a slight dig at me. True. But I have no idea if Smoke That Dank watches. So many people are talking down on degen projects on ApeChain, when that's the only reason people started trading NFTs again. That's the reason OGs came back to trade. F your real projects and real artists. The market will decide what has value, not the cabal, not the big influencers. The market. I want to see ApeChain succeed. Stop pump and dumping. And listen, I kind of agree with this to an extent, but then you have just a plain carbon copy of something that's already out there, and you're like, okay, I mean, the argument's kind of mute. I get the degen gambling thing to an extent, but we're just copying things and hoping we have other people that are like, yeah, this is stupid enough that it's going to work. And then if it doesn't, I mean, I don't know. But agreed to the point of let people have fun. Don't let others sway your opinion whatsoever unless you agree fundamentally with it, and always challenge your own thoughts. Which this is another one here, because we talked a little bit about deregulation yesterday, and there was a lot of different posts post-election that were talking about that. And I saw this one today, and it was another zinger. So Fortune says crypto bros making 6-figure portfolios after throwing $100 at Solana shitters, then having a victim complex over government regulatory oversight blocking their bags or something. Now, for anybody that didn't watch the stream yesterday, this was in lieu because there was a lot of just retaliation, not necessarily in a negative way from the crypto people, but saying, okay, the current regime has a lot of negativity towards blockchain. There was always kind of the notion of, well, what happens if the token that I'm in gets investigated by the SEC, which anybody holding IMX, right? We saw the token go down a little bit. There was all that concern, and it's happened for OpenSea and all of these other individuals. Now, OpenSea doesn't have a token per se, but there was this kind of looming, what do we do here if there is some kind of investigation when everything seems completely legit? What happens with that? So there was a fair amount of discourse about that yesterday, but I generally agree, it's not affected people that are buying these things. It's really only the concern for the teams that are building the different products, which is ultimately what everybody uses. But I do kind of agree with the point that it doesn't really affect the average person. It doesn't really affect the average person in the space that much. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so this is completely not Web3 related, but listen, I want to judge here for a second, because I saw these jerseys and I was like, what the hell is going on? So the PWHL, the Women's Hockey League that started last year, I believe, they are now having uniforms, because last year they just put city names on the jersey and it was kind of But on first look, first of all, the one on the left here looks like it's a college team. The one over here is the Ottawa team. This is everybody's saying this is the rip-off Calgary Flames. It's 2024. I feel like we come up with better designs. The F with the ice is kind of cool. The sirens with the New York in the background, kind of like it. The Montreal one is actually pretty fire, in my opinion. And this is a reverse Seattle Surge Call of Duty, on the side that I think is a B with the torch. I don't know. I think we could do a lot better. But then they have the white version of these jerseys, and the F logo doesn't look as menacing. The B thing is kind of this still looks like the University of Toronto type deal. I still absolutely hate the Ottawa one. The New York Sirens one's okay, but the Montreal one with the off shade of white, I kind of like it, to be honest. Listen, I'm an Ottawa Senators fan, not really a Canadiens fan, but listen, the PWHL team, not too shabby. Latest, CZ reveals he has had offers to buy his controlling stake in Binance, but remains tight-lipped on the buyers and price, leaving his long-term plans uncertain. Imagine you have the majority share in Binance. That talk about an absolute unbelievable bag. True. Okay, so Seraph earned spotlight at Binance Blockchain Week 2024. I have not seen a single thing about Binance Blockchain Week, like a single thing on my timeline. So this is where the conversation comes in of, am I not following enough people from the Asia region? Is the Asia region not using X? Why do I not follow more Binance people? Because I believe these headlines are completely accurate, but I'm just realizing, we have been kind of focused on, whether it be Solana, Ethereum, or some of the other ones, but anything regarding BNB we just haven't talked about. Showcasing GameFi excellence and $10 million revenue milestone, which is actually pretty high and kind of crazy. I guess they had different cosplayers there, which is kind of neat, but there was a specific post within this that I wanted to bring up. And so is that no. Oh, okay. So this is it. And this is why I just hate the way the terminology is used within the space. So I want you to imagine you're somebody new that's like checking out this and you're like, okay, sell me on this, okay? So Seraph's vision, redefining blockchain games for lasting engagement. Okay, fair enough. At Binance Blockchain Week, Seraph emphasized its commitment to creating sustainable and engaging gaming experiences. While many projects in the industry chase fleeting hype cycles, which I would argue, how many of them are like still doing that? People just don't do sales right now, but there was a lot of things kind of like the Rec League that was, people were just like minting that because it was the hype, and I don't know if people actually wanted to play the game or thought it was going to be good. Seraph is forging a different path, focusing on lasting gameplay as a core appeal. By offering seasonal updates, a player-driven economy, and sustainable rewards, Seraph keeps its audience engaged with fresh content and the opportunity to participate in a decentralized gaming ecosystem. So, seasonal updates, player-driven economy, sustainable reward system. This is when I say, we want more context on things. I think readers would, understand if you go in depth. It'd be better. Just throwing that out there, throwing them apples out there. So, CryptoNewsFlash.com, their article, Web3's Competitive Edge in Revolutionizing Gaming Rewards Explained. We've read 7 different things to talk about revolutionizing today, but Web3 gaming is at a crossroads. While the traditional video games market has continued to mature and grow immensely over the last decade, true, many experts believe that the industry is now at a critical evolutionary juncture with Web3 leading the roost. So this number is going to be insane, but remember, this is a 10-year difference. It's not immediately. The Web3 gaming market, valued at $23.9 billion in 2023, $23.9 billion, is projected to soar to $133.2 billion by 2033. With this explosive growth not just being about market size, but rather a fundamental shift in how games can reward and engage players. Through the use of concepts like tokenization and smart contracts, blockchain-based games can now orchestrate tournaments and gaming experience at a scale previously unimaginable, creating new opportunities for both casual players and serious competitors. So this is super interesting when we're saying orchestrate tournaments and gaming experiences at a scale previously unimaginable. Is this just because all the information is on chain and we just actually had the problem with tournaments and everything else where these games didn't have any kind of blockchain integration, where the DATs, the STATA and stuff wasn't prevalent? When you're looking at that, I feel like some of that information would still be available even without blockchain capabilities, but does it make it better? Does it have the opportunity to just offer more, as a lot of these teams are creating their own token, so they have this massive supply they can do whatever with, and the only thing these other Web 2 games could do is offer skins or use a huge chunk of their own revenue to be able to push out content for these tournament prizes, whatever, and then hope it goes from there. I'm not really sure how to look at that, to be honest, but either way, it still seems like we're getting some very, very positive headlines around Web3, and that's, listen, that's all we can hope for. So that's it for this edition of XFeed. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow's, of course, Friday. So I hope you enjoyed the rest of the day. Mr. Harry Swan, as per usual, thank you for coming on, sir, and hope you particularly have a